Hello everyone and welcome to our Travel Talk Tuesdays with me, Robert, your favorite travel advisor. And today's topic, we're actually going to be talking about some travel activities. And those activities are going to be things that you're going to be doing when you're traveling. A lot of people don't think about it, but when you travel, there's a lot that you can do. It's not just the destination that you're going to see. You can do so many things as, ride your bike, hey, do a snorkel trip, get scuba certified. If you've never been scuba certified, a lot of these resorts down in the Caribbean, they offer that scuba certification. So you can go on down and you can get that scuba certification for a lot less than you might pay for it here in the States. And, we were looking today at some places down in Mexico. And one of the things that really surprised me that I didn't even think about are these just tours that you can take via an ATV into the jungle, into the wilds. And I was like, you know what, that'd be great. I'd really love to do one of those. And you don't think about it, especially if you're traveling via a cruise ship. If you're traveling to a cruise ship to some destination, the cruise ships are going to have the excursions that are built right there. And those are easy to get access to. And your travel advisor should be lining you up with some excursions if you are going via a cruise ship. But if you're traveling via a plane or maybe via a car, even if you're not traveling internationally, if you're just traveling locally, there's a lot of things you can do to really make that experience and really make that trip worthwhile. One thing that Kyle and I love to do is we are big into snorkeling and we love to bike. So anytime we go somewhere, if there's some bikes that we can rent, a lot of places have these bikes you can just go and rent by the hour. You literally go up, you sign up for an app, you download the app on your phone, you enter the information, you enter the bike number, bam, the bike comes out of the thing. I'm sure there's some cities where you live here in the United States that might have a similar situation. And you can just rent these bikes and just travel and go all around. I know when we're down in Key West, when we go down there, one thing we love to do is rent scooters. We rent those little scooters and we just go all over the island. And I love to find places that are kind of off the beaten path that a lot of people don't know about. So when you're traveling and you're getting into these places and you really want to get out and experience. Now, I would always recommend, please ensure you're doing it safely, especially if you are traveling internationally and you're not familiar with the country. Maybe ask the concierge at the hotel where you're going, hey, where's a safe place we can go? Some resorts, depending on the resort, might be large pieces of property where you're behind security gates, which is great. I know when we were down in the Dominican Republic isn't just the best place to go wander around by yourself, but we were on a huge, huge compound, and we were staying at a house down there. And we had a golf cart. So we explored all over. In fact, it was kind of late at night one night. Funny story, we were driving around. I was like, okay, well, we can pretty much go wherever we want. And we went across these railroad tracks and we made this left-hand turn. And I was like, oh, well, there's more of the resort over here. And then we noticed cars were driving down this road a lot faster than they were driving anywhere else on the property. And lucky that Kyle saw the sign because we weren't supposed to be on that road with a golf cart. It was like a service road for the employees. And I was like, okay, we need to go off this road because we're literally going to die. Our headlight is not that great, and I don't even think we have brake lights. But we did, to talk about that trip and that golf cart ride, we did really explore that piece of property. We found there's the primary beaches, but then there's a new section of the property that's being built. And when we went that way, we found this little cove, it reminded me of that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, where he's in Thailand or something and goes and lives on that island with those people, the cove or whatever. And this beach was like a little cove. It was just a little horseshoe, had some overgrown, and it had a little seawall, and it was perfect. And there were only 3 people there. And I was like, this is a great beach. We can do whatever we want. We could literally probably take off all our clothes and run around naked and no one would have ever seen us, type of thing. But it was a great beach. So we were able to find places like that. When we went to Hawaii, we had similar situations on the road to Hana. We just got out and we started to explore these paths and trails and found these great beaches. So you can find these things wherever you're at. But one thing, like I said, is you always want to make sure you're safe. Be aware of your surroundings when you're doing anything. But when you are traveling, you can get with your travel advisor and look in advance because there's a lot of things you can do, and there's a lot of things that might be included with the stay at your resort, and that's something your travel advisor can definitely help you out with, especially if you're going to an all-inclusive resort. You can get things like horseback riding on the beach included or snorkeling or whatever. When we were down in Jamaica, some of the things that were included with the resort we were staying at was a catamaran ride, you know, the trek up to the falls right there at Dunn's River, things like that are included, where if you didn't know about that, you might think, oh, well, I'm not going to do that because I have to pay extra. And a lot of times you don't have to. Things might be included. But if you are traveling somewhere, there is definitely, I would always encourage you to look at the tourism board. Everywhere you go, every country you go to has some type of tourism board there, and it's going to tell you about things you can do. Now, we don't like to do the big, hey, this is what all the tourists are doing. Another funny story. I'm all about stories today. Today's just one of those days. When we were in Mexico, we went to Cozumel. And we had this whole thing planned out. We were going to go visit the Mayan ruins. I'm like, this is going to be great. It's going to be like the Temple of the Sun. So we rented this Jeep and we're driving around. And I was like, okay, we're going to go see these ruins. We saw Mayan ruins all right, but it was not the big Temple of the Sun. It was like the beach huts. They were like the size of like big dog houses and had iguanas all over them. Me personally, as I look back on it, I can laugh about it. At the time, I was like, I'm very sad and very disappointed. I didn't get to see like these big pyramids that I wanted to see. I'm looking at like a couple stones that built like a hut on the beach. It was great. So there are things like that. There are these excursions you can take. And if you do like to rent a car, if you do like to explore, then I would highly encourage you to look in to see what it would take to just get your car and go out. 9 out of 10 times where you go now, you're going to have great GPS service and things like that. Although that is one thing that you might want to check when you are renting that car, or to check with your service provider and make sure, hey, am I going to have good connectivity while I'm down there? Or is this somewhere where maybe you need to rent like a TomTom or rent a Garmin to have with you? Because the last thing you want to do is be navigating via GPS and get lost somewhere and now you don't have signal or service to get back to somewhere safe. But those cars are the best way. Train rides, I love train rides. Train rides are great. Bicycle tours, if you can hop on any bicycle tours. There are, like I said, ATV tours that go through jungle trek areas and things like that that you can experience. There is snorkeling, there is scuba diving, there is parasailing, there is paddleboarding. Anywhere you go, there's always so much you can do and so much you can take in. One thing I do love is we love food. We do love to do like food and wine tours. And sometimes depending on where you go and what country you're in and what location you're at, you are able to take some food and wine tours, whether that be at the local restaurants or in people's actual homes. I know when you go to Italy, you can actually go and experience the culture in people's homes. Or if you travel to St. Augustine here in Florida, you can do a food and wine tour there. And that food and wine tour, you're going to be going around to 6 or 7 great little restaurants, trying their cuisine, trying their local wine that they have there. That's phenomenal. We've done that numerous times. We thoroughly enjoyed that trip. And I'm from Savannah. When you go to Savannah, there's the bar tour. You can take the bar tour. You can experience the local bars there and things like that. So there's always something to do for anyone and everyone. If you're big into fitness, you're big into working out. I know one of my best friends who lives out in Texas, he loves to work out. I think everywhere he goes, he owns a gym. So he tries to really build his trips and his stuff around that type of lifestyle. So there are things you can do. There's definitely hikes you can take, waterfalls that you can climb like we did in Jamaica and things like that. So if that is something you want to do, that's definitely something I would talk with your travel advisor about. Let them know. The more your travel advisor knows about you, your lifestyle and what you like to do, the better off they can plan those amazing trips for you. And like I said, that's whether it is here locally in the United States or internationally, whether you're driving, flying, or traveling via cruise line. The cruise lines are great too. I want you to know, if you are into fitness, cruise lines, the gyms on board usually have the best views on the whole boat. I don't know why that is, but cruise lines put those gyms and they've got the best view. They're usually wall-to-wall windows right overlooking either the bow or the stern of the boat, and it's just an amazing view. So that was really all I had today. Just look into those excursions. Let your travel advisor know who you are, what you like to do, so they can help build that amazing trip. There's always something to do, but if you want to just sit around the resort and you just want to put your feet in the sand and have a drink, you can do that too. And as always, make sure you go and see the world before you have to leave the world. Thanks, guys.